Hey guys, Coach Michael here. Today we are going to be talking about how to dress to bike in the cold weather. So I've got my daughter, Austin, here, and pretty much this is it. You just stick one of these things on, slap your helmet on the top, you are good to go. No problem. No, seriously, we're gonna go over this in a little bit more practical of clothing. So let's take this helmet off, get you out of this thingamajig that you are dressed in. There we go. All right, so let's talk through this here. So the key is to make sure you have a great base layer. A base layer is what is hugging your body the closest. So something like an Under Armour material on both legs, as well as on the top, to stay nice and cozy to your body. If you can get something that has windproof on the front, wind block, a lot of different brands out there, this will keep the wind from cutting through the clothing, and having that on the base layer is super, super valuable. Now, how many base layers you need is really a personal preference. So you might decide that you want a second layer on top of this, depending on how cold it is. Probably don't want to layer too much on the legs because we're going to use those to cycle, but you might want to put a couple layers up top. The next most essential thing that you are going to put on is a hat. Now, I don't wear this every time. It really has to be pretty cold for me to put on a hat under my helmet, but if it's a cold day out there, we want to keep that head warm because we're going to lose most of our heat through our head. Now, when you choose a hat, you can't just get a big thick one like this, which I run in. No, you need something really thin because you still have to fit your helmet properly on top of it. So, Austin, if we can put that hat on, we're going to show how we get that helmet. Now, I had to loosen up her helmet before we put it on her because it's not going to fit like it did with just her head. So now we're going to put that helmet on and make sure that it fits well. We still want it low on the head, and we want to make sure it can still snap and is nice and tight. I actually like to see that a little bit tighter, but I won't worry about that right now. All right, so head is now covered. We have a nice base layer. The next most important thing is we need some good gloves. So we got the head, now we need to get the hands taken care of. Now, she pulled out these things. These are like thin little running gloves. This isn't gonna do it. We're gonna be going through wind, we're gonna be going fast. We need something a little bit thicker. These are some gloves I picked up at Costco. They're head gloves. They've got some wind blocker on the outside. You can still text on your phone with these. She doesn't need that, I do. But they are great value added gloves out there. We also, I use a little bit better of a glove that we sell at Endorphin Fitness that's a little bit higher quality, but this works for most kids out there and we'll make do. So Austin, let's go ahead and put on those gloves. Let's toss these because those aren't going to do much good. All right. Now, as she's putting those on, a key item that I discovered at Christmas a few years ago is the thermal neck gaiter. Guys, this was a game changer for me. I will run in short sleeve shorts and a hat and a neck gaiter, and I am golden. Same thing with cycling. I almost always have these things on. Now, COVID has made these things super popular, but they are super warm. It does amazing things. We already put your helmet on. We gotta take this off. Hold on. But this does amazing things for keeping the neck warm if you have it down there. And if it's a really cold day, we can pull it up over the nose and just show the eyes and get your ears nice and covered. Now I'm gonna have to loosen this up even more now that she slipped the neck gaiter in there as well. And it's gonna go just like that. And you can put it under or over top of this, kind of your personal preference. So that's what that looks like. And she can pull that down if she wants. Now, We don't want any ordinary jersey. Now, if you just have a thin jersey, it's okay. Just put some more layers under. This is a nice thermal jersey. It's got a little bit of thickness to it. That will help you out a ton for staying warm in the winter. So we're gonna slide that on. I like to have the gloves under it so that the wind, it's kind of keeping those, or the jersey's keeping those gloves nice and tucked in. And then you can zip that up from there. And then if you've got a jersey, it would be great to have it have some of that wind blocker material, because it's going to keep the wind from getting through to your body. But if you don't have that, you might need another outer layer. An outer layer like this, our team rain jacket that's also a little bit of wind protection. It's wind resistant as well. And you can slide this over top of this to provide a little bit more of that protection. You having trouble there? Yeah. I just got these gloves on. All right, so you can slide this over top if you want. I'm not gonna bother her with putting this on, but that would be super helpful on the most cold days. And she's got multiple layers there to protect her. The last thing I'll mention is Booties. So these are kind of made for cycling shoes. You can see they've got an opening so you can still clip in. I guess you could slide them over regular shoes as well, but this is really key for keeping your feet warm. And keeping your feet warm and your hands warm is probably the name of the game here for staying warm out in the cold. So if you don't have these Booties, we want to make sure that you've got a good pair of socks like this. Yeah, a good pair of socks. But even with the socks, I lost my partner there. Even with the socks, I'd put those Booties on as well. But if you don't have great socks, or if you have the Booties, you can usually get away with a little bit less thick of socks. That's about it, guys. That's what it looks like. She looks ready to go. I'd zip this up. But she looks ready to go, ready to ride. And it's really fun for me to be able to go out and ride in really tough conditions. Knowing I can ride through tough conditions, I've got the right clothing on, it's fun. And so I encourage you guys, get the right equipment. Give us a call at Endorphin Fitness if you're not sure what you need. We'll help advise and get you all set. But we want you to enjoy this winter. We got to stay outside with COVID. So we want you to stay outside, enjoy it, and have a great time this winter. Have a great day.